We are glad to welcome to our show from the Children's Advocacy Center of South Central Michigan, Program Director Jamie Lee. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Bart.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
I think it's before COVID that you were last here.
Or during,
Yeah, maybe.
somewhere in there. Time got weird there, so I don't know anymore.
Well, you since you were here last, you've completed your expansion and overhaul of the space.
Yeah, lots happened since then, actually. So last time I was here talking about our bike-a-thon that we were doing to raise money for the renovation expansion project at the Child Advocacy Center. We just needed more space for the work, and so that is finally done. We got it done. It took a while, but I'm really excited about the space and proud of the place that we have to show for our kids and the people we're serving. So,
yeah, we should probably just take a moment to explain what the Children's Advocacy Center is.
Yeah. So Children's Advocacy Centers help coordinate investigations for child abuse cases. So we work with law enforcement, CPS, prosecutors, medical, that when these allegations come in for sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, witness to violence, they'll send a referral over to us. And so we offer interviews to find out what happened, advocacy services for kids and caregivers to get resources, and also offer therapy as a follow-up. So, and all of our services are free, so.
Well, we were talking before the show, it's too bad that we have to have this. It's too bad that we have child abuse.
Right.
But it's a good thing. You're very proud of what we have here because it's something a lot of places don't have, especially to the level that we have.
So, yeah, I mean, this means that there's, these situations have a possible element of, criminal allegations, child protection issues, and especially with the criminal piece, those systems were not created with kids in mind. So CACs really help make that process be more child-centered and trauma-informed so that we can support these kids the best we can to go through this process of finding out what happened and how can we support them. And so we've been in Jackson, I think it opened in 2011. I've been there since 2014. And since then, another location was opened in Lenawee County, and just this year we actually opened one in Hillsdale County. So we're covering the Tri-County area now.
Nice. And we've got some photos you brought along of the completed work.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. This is our new entryway with our Jackson staff.
So it started, it was like an old house on Wildwood Ave, right?
Yeah, And we added a new waiting room, some new offices, a new meeting room out to the side there. So it definitely functions better, but also looks really nice. So here's where we meet with our multidisciplinary partners to discuss the cases before the forensic interviews.
This isn't one of the rooms the kids are seeing.
Right.
The kids, so there's somebody's charged or accused of child abuse, then the child needs to be interviewed, and it's here.
Right, so this is our forensic interview room. So this is where our interviewer would speak with that child, and those people who need to hear what a kid has to say, law enforcement, CPS if they're involved, would be on the other side of the mirror there in that room we just showed, observing. And kids know that those people are there and they handle that really well. A lot of people think kids would be really scared and intimidated by that, but.
Well, I think the opposite might be true too, that they would be alone in a room with an adult.
Yeah, and they would prefer to have that conversation with one person rather than a room full of other people looking at you. And this is just an office. That happens to be mine, but we added a few offices and changed some of the spaces, and so a lot of people have taken a lot of pride in decorating it and making it their own. So
looks very comfortable.
Yeah.
So the child is interviewed during the course of an investigation, maybe even before the court action, but the trauma is going to be there, I would imagine, for a long, long time. Do you have ongoing contact and support for the kids?
Yeah, so we help support those non-offending caregivers. So whoever is taking care of that kid is also, it's very important that they're taken care of so that they can be there for those kids. So we support them and through advocacy and referrals, but we also have therapists on staff who are trained especially in trauma-based models that we know work to lower trauma symptoms for children. So that is an important part of the process of healing and moving forward.
So you needed more space because there are more cases?
Well, maybe kind of, but also just, I guess as we've expanded, we've offered, trying to offer more, making sure therapy is more available, and trying to cut down on wait lists and making our advocacy more robust. That means more staff, which meant we were filling up the space that we had. So it was very tricky to make it work with what we had. So
I know there's all levels. There's, with maltreatment all the way to violence, severe violence, sexual abuse.
yeah.
Are there different ways you handle different types of cases?
Well, specifically the CAC only, we get those referrals only for the sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, witness to violence. I think the cases we see, about 85% of our referrals are allegations of child sexual abuse. And so the first step is that conversation to find out what, if anything, happened, if a kid is ready to talk about it. So some of those other maybe neglect or those situations are handled outside of the CAC.
So do you work with the prosecutor's office or police department? How do you get connected into the?
Yeah. So law enforcement and CPS, we have an agreement in all three of our counties with all law enforcement jurisdictions, the prosecutor's office, the CPS, that when they get these specific cases, they will send us a referral. So we get that referral and we start coordinating that interview to make sure everyone's there. So it's a partnership.
Do you have, who's there at do you have volunteers or paid staff or?
Yeah, both. So we have staff doing multiple kinds of roles like I talked about. And we rely on volunteers also just to help welcome kids, make it comfortable, welcome the parents too, or the caregiver, and just help them feel relaxed and comfortable in a situation that, most people don't expect to find themselves in. So
I know you're part of the Catholic Charities of Jackson, Lenawee, Hillsdale. I was at an event a few weeks ago where they talk a lot at that organization about how important, how big a part of CAA that the Child Advocacy Center is.
Yeah.
And that's how it's funded.
Catholic Charities, we are a program under their umbrella, and they help support us and make sure that we're getting what we need, whether through the grants, financially, federally at the state level, helping make sure that we can keep these programs going. And like I said, we've expanded and opened in Hillsdale, and Lenawee's been there for a few years now too. So,
are there ways the community can help? Are there partnerships that you offer?
We are just working on launching something called the Children's Advocacy Alliance or Child Advocacy Alliance. And so it's an opportunity for businesses in our community to partner with the CAC to create or bolster a social responsibility platform. So to take measurable action in helping combat child abuse in our community. So what that looks like is a company who would be interested could sign up their staff to participate in a reporter training where they would learn about what to look for and how to report. And we have mandated reporter laws on the books, right? So those people who are in those positions know that they have to report. But for your average person who doesn't work in this world and encounter this topic every week like I do, they might not know what to do, and that might feel overwhelming and difficult to know what steps to take. So entities can enroll staff who are interested in that, and it gives us an opportunity to get larger groups of people information at a time, and also businesses an opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to helping keep children safe in our community.
Yeah, and of course, everyone is, I would say, required to report. You see a child being hurt or being injured, call 911 first off, for sure.
Yeah.
But then you have questions, you see something happening in the parking lot, it's like, oh no, what should I do? People can be trained to how to respond.
Yeah, when we encounter difficult situations in real life, it doesn't always feel as cut and dry as when you're imagining you'd be that person to take action in your mind. So, you know, sometimes there's nuance to it, and just helping support people work through any myths or answer questions to help them make the choice to help protect the kids. So any businesses who are interested can always get a hold of us, and I would be happy to further the conversation and make that happen.
That's great. Thanks for all you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully someday you'll be out of business.
Yeah, yes, it is one of those
Yeah.
jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jamie.
thank you.
Jamie Lee is Program Director at the Children's Advocacy Center of South Central Michigan. We've got some birthdays and anniversaries that are coming up next in the Jennifer Scanlon Birthday Club, so stay with us.